Hi there. What I want to show you today is the Kalos Blocks Butts Coffee Shop set 61005. It has 1,338 pieces, is rated for 6 years and above, and is fairly easy to build. The bricks a bit hard sometimes to press together, but they definitely stick then. There is a second variation of the set, which has 1,412 pieces, and the difference is that the set with the 1,412 pieces has minifigures and is not copyright compliant with Lego. So in Europe, there is a different version that's being sold, probably also in the US, which then has no minifigures in it. They also not mentioned in the manual. You get a part breaker, which looks a bit different than the one from Lego, but otherwise does the same job as any other part breaker. One thing that isn't obvious from the pictures on the box and on the manual is that it's open in the back. So you have no back wall whatsoever. There's also no stairs in this house, which is not quite correct because there is stairs, but not for the use of a staircase. It's meant to be used to play, and it works fairly well for that. The roof is quite an interesting construction. I'll take this off now just to get in there. Before you can take the modules apart, you need to remove the rain down pipe because it actually holds everything together there in the front. It's actually nicely done the way they've done it. There's a brick here that has come loose, and on the other side, same thing, but we leave that on there for now. And take the first floor off. So that's the coffee shop itself. As you can see, there's a till, there's a coffee machine, and we have a sink, some cupboards. You have like a croissant and some donuts and a till, and there's some artwork here, CCTV camera. Then we have the door on the front here that you can open, and you have the window that can be opened. On that matter with the door and the window, can you see the trans clear pieces there? Everything has foil on both sides. There are no scratches. This is something that seems to be the norm for Kalos, because I've already built a second set and it was all the same there too. Unfortunately, all the signs and bits and pieces is all stickers. There's a sticker sheet with this, and as you can see, I've used all the stickers, but there's that one sticker I haven't used that. It's also not mentioned in the manual where it goes, but I think there's a reason for that, and I get to that in a bit. That's the ground floor. Oh yeah, the CCTV camera that just falls off for no reason. But that's the only thing. The bricks actually themselves are very, very good. They are sometimes even hard to get together, but once you have them together, they pretty much won't come apart again. For the first floor, you have a nice couch here with some speakers, some records, a little side, and then a TV and a record player. Yeah, so we have a culprit here in the first floor. In the building steps, step 113. The colors in the manual are not always very, very easy to identify. To me, it looked at first, when I looked at the manual, like I was going to use two black bricks in the middle, so two 2x3 black tiles, and then dark brownish tiles around. But when I got to the end of that floor, I was missing dark brown tiles for the top of the building where it connects, and I had those brown tiles left. And the other thing is, it couldn't be black in the middle because I only had one 2x6 in black, which is for the stereo. Anyhow, those dark browns there, those are the ones that, that I then had basically put in the floor. I had to rip the whole thing apart again and then put it back together. Now the sticker is for the TV. That's at least what I figure. But because they have 4 2x4 tiles, they basically didn't put it in a manual because by Lego rules these days, you don't apply stickers across multiple bricks. The other thing is then down on the floor, in the bottom floor, there is actually one print, and that's this little gauge on the coffee machine. There's 2 of them in the house, but everything else unfortunately is stickers. That's the only 2 prints that we have. Up to the second floor, we have a little couch here that's on a turntable, so it can actually move around. It's only restricted by the little footrest in front of it. There is a bookshelf. There's a clock on the wall. There is another coffee machine, and there again is the gauge. That's a print. That's the second print in the house. We have a bit of artwork on the wall, another artwork over the fireplace, and then in the fireplace we actually have red translucent bricks that sort of resemble fire, which is a nice touch. Like, the set itself is actually very easy to build. It's straightforward mostly, apart from the colors being a bit off. Oh yeah. So one of the problems that I ran into was that when I finished the first floor, there was supposed to be a 1x1 tile where that one knot is, where that one dot is, and I couldn't find one. That was the only thing I found. But at the end of the day, there is near to no extra pieces left when you have this build. So that was the only thing that I had that could go in there. So one of the things is the windows can't properly open. They can open slightly. On the front of the manual, you can see that the windows are open. But when you take off the guardrail and you open the windows, you can see there isn't even space to put that guardrail, or it's not even possible to put it back like. We now have to put the rain downpipe back on again. And what you do is you clip that in and you take the top piece off it, because that actually slides into here, the top, and then you connect it again. And it sort of holds the different portions of the house together. So that obviously has to be removed again if you want to take the modules apart. Yeah, and then there is no stairs, as I mentioned before, but it's open from the back. It's actually more intended for kids to play with, and it works well for that. So kids will actually just move the figures from one floor to the other without using the stairs anyhow. Like, the construction of the roof is some of the best I've seen ever, because I've tried to assemble roofs and the whole thing collapses under your fingers as you try to put additional roof tiles on there. But what Kalos did was they took staircases and they stuck them as a support structure into the roof, and then you build on top of that. I'll show you a picture of that here now. So basically you start like this. You have a couple of staircase elements, and you basically stick them together, and then you build on top of that. And because of that, the roof doesn't really collapse under your fingers, which is great. It made it really, really easy to build this roof. So the set itself retails in China somewhere between $60 and $65. I've seen from various dealers like Mold King or other ones. I bought my set from Blue Bricks in Germany for €69.95. The difference though is that my set is then the set that has the 1,338 pieces, where the Chinese variant has 1,412 pieces because it includes minifigures. Obviously, that can't be sold in Germany or in Europe because of the 3D copyright that Lego has on minifigures. And it would probably even be questionable if you locally sourced the set in the US that you would get the minifigures with that. Oh yeah, I had a piece, a 2x1 plate in beige that I simply couldn't find. And it ended up being under all the orange bricks. So the parts that normally make mixed in. Now, this is the only piece that I had left at the end of the build. You literally don't get any extra pieces with this. So don't lose your small pieces when you build this, because otherwise you'll be stuck and hopefully have a stash. Anyhow, this is a fairly cost-effective way to expand your city, and it actually fits in nicely with the Lego modular houses from proportions. We can add a little magic here, and voila, they're at the Lego bookstore, the two houses from that. And as you can see, it fits nicely together with. Unfortunately, Technic holes are not in the same position as the Lego Technic holes. But the other issue that you have is there's a base plate here. Well, the Lego houses are on a base plate, and the Kalos house is on a normal plate. So the Kalos house sits slightly higher, so the pins wouldn't be on the same level anyhow. But if you just place them loosely side by side, they actually work really, really nicely and fit well together. Well, thanks for watching, and hopefully this video was helpful. And if it was, give us a like. If it wasn't, give us a dislike. And maybe subscribe. And we'll see you another day. Bye.